My name is Grace Grothaus, and I'm a PhD student in digital media at York University. I hail from the US, but I've been here in Canada for a year and a half, and I did my master's at UC San Diego. I'm really interested in this particular moment in history that we're at. We're at this inflection point, I think, because of multiple systems collapses at the same time, in particular climate change. We find ourselves looking at things in a fresh perspective, and I think at a time scale that is longer than we're accustomed to in the past. So I'm really interested in my work in taking a look at natural systems and human technological and cultural production, and taking a long view and seeing how these things interrelate, the complexities of being a human alive in the 21st century, grappling with the climate change crisis. My artwork in the More Than Human exhibition curated by Jane Tingley is called Dawning. And in Dawning, I'm having a look at the circadian rhythm that happens each day in ecosystems across the planet. So all the time, the sun is sweeping over the earth in a beautiful and endless wave, and all the species that are present are coming alive and awake each day to that and responding to it in different calls. You have birds waking up and chirping, and monkeys calling in the forest. And here in a city, you know, the gallery in which this exhibition is sited is downtown Toronto, and it's separated from that because of electric lights, because of the rhythm of the city and the pace of our industrial productions. We don't have that connection. So I was hoping through the artwork Dawning to create a possibility that you might feel that even in the enclosure of the gallery. In the artwork Dawning, I'm using live data from the forest, the Rare Charitable Reserve, through Jane Tingley's umbrella project called For Us Inclusive. And so I'm able to take the atmospheric data from the forest, the wind speed, the light levels, temperature, carbon dioxide levels, air particulate matter, and translate that to numeric value that shifts a pre-recorded video in the installation. So you can see the video playback change in brightness and adjust with the live forest conditions. Dawning is commissioned by the curator Jane Tingley and is part of her research project For Us Inclusive. And the goal of this commission was to take the live data from the Rare Charitable Reserve forest and inject that into an artwork in the gallery that could transport you in a way to that location, to a location of your own imagination, to an every forest, if you will. So the production of this artwork took a couple different forms. One was connecting through IoT, or the Internet of Things, via MQTT protocol to take that live data and putting that into a software. The software that I chose to use is Touch Designer. Another aspect of the project is prototyping the physical form in which viewers will see that. I have a lot of skill and a lot of years of working in sculptural formats, more 3D. So I was able to take that and interject that with a 2D form of the video and create a sculptural video screen. There are cutouts in the shape of a leaf canopy of a tree that enable the pass-through of the rear projection light of the video onto the wall behind it. So this enables sort of the light dappling effect that you get on the forest floor when you're walking around outside. And then the other aspect of the video is the filming itself. So I was on site for several weeks in the summer, and because of the time of day in which I'm interested in focusing on, the dawn chorus, I was waking up before dawn, taking my camera equipment and my audio field recording devices at different locations, setting up and filming and recording for several hours each morning until the sun was pretty high in the sky, and then calling it quits for the day, having a look at what I made. I ended up shooting hours of footage for the creation of this, and the final work condenses down to 19 minutes of much of the more ethereal, dreamlike, abstract aspects of the footage that I shot. I think there's so many ways of understanding the world and experiencing it that are not captured by our current contemporary societal thinking, particularly within a Western Occidental context, within the capitalistic framework that we find ourselves living in, mostly around the planet. And so I'm interested in different ways of knowledge production and ways of knowing or being in the world. So with this artwork, major focus for me was trying to convey that sense of direct experience with the forest. It's not possible for me to bring the forest into the gallery for the viewer, but the technology of live data does make it possible for me to bring an aspect of that real-time experience to you. I'm a big believer in forest bathing. So something that I like to do in my research creation practice is field research and spend some time in the forest. So perhaps my favorite aspect of creating this artwork, Dawning, was going and spending weeks in the forest, waking up before dawn every day and just shooting and experiencing that. So my hope is that a little bit of that joy and celebration gets conveyed in the final artwork. I've included a floor cushion next to the video projection so that gallery viewers can hopefully spend a little bit of time and enjoy that quiet, contemplative or celebratory moment themselves.